Hey everybody, we're going to do something a little different today. In the last couple of weeks, I've gotten several questions on how to play board games online. So I'm going to do a quick little tutorial about how I do it. So we're going to pop over to the computer here. So there are three major services that do board games online. The one we're going to focus on is this one, Board Game Arena. Board Game Arena is the smallest of the services with 175 games, which seems like a lot to me. But it's entirely web-based, so you don't need to download anything. You just need to sign up and you can play. But the thing that really sets it apart is that it has full rules enforcement. So when you play the game, it will make you play it correctly. And it will tell you when you're doing something wrong. It just won't let you do that thing. That's really nice. When you're playing online, the interface is going to be a bit different. And so having that rules enforcement, I think, just makes it a lot easier to play the games. It is free, Board Game Arena, although there is a premium subscription model, which we'll cover in greater detail later. The other two options, real quick, are Tabletopia, which has about 800 games and is also a subscription service at $10 a month. And it's cool. It's a lot visually. It's more flashy visually for sure. It looks more like what a board game would look like on your table. But it doesn't do any rules enforcement. So if you're playing the game wrong, it will not tell you. And just like I'm sure you've all experienced, it's very easy to get the rules wrong in a game. And Tabletopia will just let you keep playing it wrong for as long as you want. Tabletop Simulator is the last one, and it's by far the most powerful, but also the most complicated. It's only a physics engine, and then users around the world have built about 8,000 different games that you can play in it, but it will not tell you how to play the game. It will not even tell you where to find the game. You have to download the game, learn how to play it, learn how to use the system. So it's very powerful, but it's much harder to use. So we're just going to stick with Board Game Arena because I feel like it's kind of the best place to start, and it's the one that I use the most right now. So you just click Start Playing and sign up for an account, and you'll end up here on the home page. The first thing I'd say is, check out the games. Up here on the Games tab, you can see all the games that are available. So I mentioned earlier that there is a subscription service portion to this. And you can see that here with these little yellow meeple flags. That means that one of the people at your table must have a premium account. So a premium account is either $4 a month or $24 a year. I personally have signed up for the yearly account. $24 a year is very cheap for all the games that you can get. And it's just such a great way to play with friends. It seems like a very good deal to me. But as I mentioned, you don't need everyone to have an account. You just need one person at the table to have the premium account. And then most of the games are completely free. So for example, Stone Age here is a great worker placement game. No tag is completely free. Don't need an account at all. But a game like Carcassonne or Sushi Go, both of which would need at least one person to be a premium account member. When you see a game that looks interesting to you, go ahead and click on it. And on the game page, you can see a video explanation, which is great. So if you click on this, it'll link to a YouTube video that teaches you how to play. It's worth noting that it's how to play the tabletop variant, like on your table, not how to play the Board Game Arena interface. So it will get you 95% of the way there, but the game is going to look a little different on the website. And in fact, you can see exactly how different it's going to look by clicking this here, See the Game in Action. And what this will do is show you a replay of someone else's game. Here we have Carcassonne, which starts with one tile. It's a tile laying game. And up here you can go to the next turn and see how each player played their turn, for example. And just get an idea of the game. You can also go to the end of the game and see how the game ended up. So this will play through the entire game. But it allows you to see how the interface works, which I think is really helpful. So we're going to go back. Once you have chosen a game with your group, and I would recommend if you can, for your first game, to choose a game that you're at least somewhat familiar with. Makes it a little easier. There's this Play This Game Now button, but we're not going to use it. This will just slot you into a free space in a table, and it will start a game between you and some strangers. The strangers on the internet playing board games tend to be very good at the games, and they tend to play very quickly. So just heads up that the first time you play a game with just strangers, you'll probably lose. Since this is about how to play with our friends, we're going to focus on that. And to do that, you go up to this Play Now tab up at the top. In the Play Now, you can see that there is this little button here. It says Play with Friends. And then I can choose which of my friends to invite to this game. How you add a friend is up here in the Account tab. So let's say I want to play with a small cat. I will click on a small cat, and they'll pop up here to be invited, and then I can invite more if I also want to, say, play with Peter Red Shoes here. Now, to start the game, I'm going to click Create New Table because I only want to play with the people that I'm interested in playing with. I don't want to play with just random people. So I'll hit Create, and that will bring us to the table. And here you can see that these two players are invited, but they haven't arrived yet because they're not online. They're my friends, but they're not online right now. So when they enter the table, they will stop being grayed out and they'll be colored in just like this. When you set up a game, there's one really important thing you should note, and it's over here on the left-hand side. There's this game speed section. The default is real-time normal speed, and what that means is that every player will have a clock. In the case of Carcassonne, I think it's a 3-minute turn clock, and you have to take your turn within that time period. This is super important when playing with strangers, but a lot less important when playing with friends. So in order to relieve the pressure of playing under a clock, I highly recommend you go to this no time limit, recommended with friends only. Now, if you noticed, as I mentioned before, my friends aren't actually online. So now it's letting me say that I can email these people if I want to let them know that I'm starting a game. I'm not going to do that, but it's an option to say, hey friends, I'm starting a game, you should play with me. After that, there's a bunch of other options you can change over here, but we're not going to cover them. This button will switch to Start Game or Go to Table, I'm not sure, when everyone is here. And that's it. You just play your game, you have some fun. So this is actually a replay of a game that I played with my friends, same games, Carcassonne game, and just like that one before, we can actually watch the whole game as you can see. So here I am over here, here's a small cat like we were talking about, and the game builds. So this is what it looks like. It's really fun. In general, it's worth noting that these games tend to be quite a bit faster than they are in real life because you don't have to shuffle, you don't have to calculate the scoring, you don't have to set up the board. It does all of that for you. So in this case, I'd say Carcassonne is usually about a 45-minute to an hour-long game in real life, but it'll be closer to like 25 to 30 minutes on Board Game Arena because it does so much for you. So I think that's great. It makes it even easier to play games with your friends and family. The last thing I wanted to talk about real quick is voice chat. So I think that when you're playing a board game, you definitely want voice chat. And how you do that, there's just an infinite number of ways. So, you can do Google Hangouts or Zoom or Skype or FaceTime or really anything. There is audio in Board Game Arena as well. I've never actually used it, but it's there if you want to try it. The one that we tend to use is called Discord. It looks like this. Discord is sort of the video gamers version of voice chat. And over here in my little server, I have all these different voice channels in which my friends can just come and go as they please. And when you're sitting there, you can just pop right in and talk to your friends. As you can see, here's my friend, and I have this little green circle. It says I'm talking. And then I can leave, just pop in, pop out as I see fit. But you definitely don't have to use Discord. It's just one option. And that's really it. That's how we play board games online. And I think that it's super fun. It's a great way to stay in touch with people and a great way to just kind of have some good social interaction when, it's tough, to connect. So I hope that you find this helpful, and I hope you have some great games.